What's going on, guys? RedWolfVion here. Today we have Gundam Unit 4 BST. This is a 500 general suit, and it is right now currently in the game, but only if you're able to pull off the banner early. The banner or the suit itself will be added to the pool at a later date. Now, again, this is Gundam Unit 4 BST, not Gundam Unit 4. There's just some differences here. We'll go over a couple, so let's jump into it. So first difference here, comparing to the Gundam Unit 4, as you see, is the main weapon is the Hyper Beam Rifle, or actually you can go to Hyper Bazooka 2, which the not prototype, but the G3 Gundam actually can use in game, which is a raid. So for the intents and purposes, we'll actually still be doing the Hyper Beam Rifle. I personally don't care much for the Hyper Bazookas, and I'll go ahead and tell you now, to me it feels as if there's a long period, a cooldown time, and for the damage and range, I might as well just keep with my Hyper Beam Rifle. Mind you, it's a guaranteed stagger shot. You hit someone with it, but it's very tricky. It's situational, but some of the matches you'll see me play, I'll be using a Hyper Beam Rifle, and who knows, I'll probably upload some more Hyper Bazooka matches to see. But I feel more comfortable with the Hyper Beam Rifle over the Hyper Bazooka, the dual Hyper Bazookas. For the melee, it's the Beam Saber further enhanced. Nothing too different there. You have your head-mounted Vulcan, you have your Mega Beam Launcher, and here's where the suit varies. So, as you can see here, the power is 1,200, heat rate of 100%, in a range of 600 meters. The overheat is 40 seconds, the focus is only 3.5 seconds, which is amazing because the focus on the regular Unit 4 is 10 seconds with a 90-second overheat. Now, that does come at a whopping 6,500 damage versus 1,200, meaning you can spam this bad boy a lot quicker now. Because this actually had gotten a buff, but now you can actually shoot that cannon a lot faster than the regular Unit 4. I probably prefer this beam launcher to the other ones. I like faster cooldown, faster reload. I don't need it to do an immense amount of damage because I don't want to wait too long to charge up and miss someone, or not destroy them or not finish them off. Your beam unit gun essentially is pretty much the same here. It's still 20%. You got power of 200. It's the range, I believe, is actually the same too. It's all intents and purposes the same thing. The only difference here is your Mega Beam Launcher. Your Hyper Beam Rifle can be swapped out for dual rocket launchers, and keep in mind you don't have a shield. Unit 4 has a shield. Unit 4 BST doesn't have a shield. Now, looking at some of the skills here, you see you still retain emergency evasion system. You have high performance balancer. You have melee combo control level 1. You can see a lot of this is actually a replicated Unit 4 skill set. I'm trying to think. I don't think it has a flight control program. I'm pretty sure that's something new for BST, as well as observational data link, which is really helpful and really cool. So keep in mind you get just a little dab of support in here when you have observational data link, which I really love. And flight control program allows you to do neat little things. Now, looking over for builds that I've tried using this, you see here I have a more defense build where I have anti-melee, anti-beam. Again, for 500 you're getting into that area. I usually use quick reloader for the head-mounted Vulcans, or if I wanted to switch and roll with the Hyper Bazookas, this can be swapped out for whatever you want. Now, I would say in this case you could roll with more enhanced firing programs. Don't concern yourself too much, and if you want a heavy defensive build, just go anti-ballistic, anti-melee, anti-beam, and anti-melee some more. That way you can have your resistance up so you can kind of survive, because again, you don't have a shield and you won't realize how much you would use that shield until you don't have it anymore. And another kind of mixed build here. I have one that has a little bit of defense, some thruster controls systems, and high-spec cruise control with a side of melee damage. This allows me to kind of boost a little bit longer in combat and move a little bit faster, get in and get out when I need to, as well as other things. Now, I will say, if you guys haven't seen any of the gameplay, check the gameplay out on the channel. It's actually a really cool suit. I'm always indifferent about it not having the shield, but this is just like Unit 4, the regular Unit 4. You can build this in many different ways. I would prefer doing a more defensive build with this guy, if not something that gives me a firing program. As you see, the builds in the video are something that I've been testing with, so I really don't have a set build I would say try to go for just yet. But these are, again, in my opinion, what have I been using for the time being, so they may change, so we could always come back and revisit this. Alright, so when it comes to combat, the suit is, on its purpose, is a very solid general suit. You have your hyper beam rifle, simple, does a nice amount of damage, one shot, as well as a charge. Now, I will say the thing about the double bazookas, which I don't care for too much, they don't do as much damage, in my opinion, and you have to finesse it a little bit more, and you have a longer cooldown between shots. So you definitely have to make that hit land. You have to make it count to capitalize off it. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. You have your beam saber, which is the generic beam saber. There's nothing fancy about your combos or anything like that. You have your swipes, your forward, your back, your left, and your right. You have your Vulcan gun, which again isn't anything too crazy. This suit kind of, the BST version of the Unit 4 gave up the shield to kind of give the Mega Beam Launcher a push in the right direction. And I mentioned that I like this suit and I like this beam launcher this more. Mind you, just like any other large focusing weapons, you can't move with it, but it charges very, very fast, as you see here. And the neat thing about it is you can hit multiple targets with one beam, and it does a nice amount of damage. Like, to me, there's no need for me to try to carry the big regular BST Mega Beam Launcher when I have a beam launcher that can do just enough damage. Mind you, if you land it or if they run into it. And of course, you have your emergency evasion system, which gives you your dash, your boost, and whatnot. So, I guess I'll say when it comes to combos, as usual, as you guys expect, there's nothing fancy, nothing new, no game-breaking combo here, outside of your general stagger, confirm, topple down, and come back down with another down slash. Like, that's pretty much what it is. What it comes down to with the suit. However, I will say the neat thing about this suit, guys, is you can do a lot of things while dropping or flying with your boost, so you can definitely utilize that. And in some cases, in a perfect world, get to jump your enemies, because there's sometimes where you're backing up and you drop down off ledges, you can bait that off, bait some of your enemies, and you can still dash in, confirm, and anything like that. Now, I mean, it's a perfect world, but we all know sometimes in matches that doesn't happen as frequently, so be very, very, very careful and very mindful of that. If you do go off a drop or something mid-air, similar to MRS or something with that flight controller system. And I really, really like that system a whole lot. It's unfortunate that you can't be super cheesy and charge your Mega Beam Launcher while falling or dropping, but for everything else you can do. You can drop down and cancel into a melee or charge while dropping in midair. So I will say that that's a really cool function of this suit. Another thing you want to be very mindful of the suit is when you're charging, just like Unit 4, don't get too greedy and hold a charge for too long, because that could definitely cost your team some time. The neat thing about this beam, if you guys are familiar with things like Zox beam, you can actually turn with it slowly to kind of clip someone, and you'll find yourself doing that a lot. So as you guys can see here, the BST varies greatly in terms of capabilities. I believe the Mega Beam launcher will allow you to put more damage out more consistently rather than charging with one huge shot at a time, like every minute and a half almost, versus every 40 seconds. That's a big selling point for me. I personally do miss the shield because the shield would help me save damage taken while I'm charging or when I'm rushing in on someone, so be very careful of that. If you're using the suit, or if you do get your hands on the suit whenever it's released to the general public pool, yeah, make use of your Mega Beam launcher. Make sure you crouch, get your prone bonuses in, and put in work. Now, sorry if this was a little bit shorter. It's not that different. It's kind of like a bonus because this is a limited suit for the current time being. All I can say is do me a favor, check out the videos on my channel to see other BST gameplay, and next time I should hopefully have Unit 5 BST for you guys. If I forgot something, guys, let me know. If I skipped something or was incorrect, guys, as always, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to fix or accommodate and answer questions. If you do have this suit, let me know how you feel about it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm glad I got it. At the time it came out, I don't think it was worth it, but they gave it a little buff. So I think overall they did right by it to give us a buff with this suit. The thruster gauge, you can see, probably still could be more busted, but you can't have everything. But with that, guys, I leave you with this word of advice. Stay awesome. Have a great day. Peace.